Hello, this is Breadboy, and today I'm going to be reviewing WillDaBeast's replay at Diamond 1 in the 3v3 playlist. Will wants advice on positioning, controlling the ball while moving downfield to make passing plays, and how to avoid losing ball possession. So let's have a look. So try not to overcommit here. When you saw that Mooch was staying up for the play, you didn't need to double commit to this play. Just hang back, especially since your teammate Darth was moving up from the left behind you and has a better follow-up opportunity here. I'll show you his point of view now. You don't want your team to be clumped up as seen in about 7 seconds here when Darth arrives. All your teammates are pretty close together here. You can tell the positioning of Darth by either listening for his car engine or by using your camera to locate him. So you guys managed to score here. However, all three of you were together in front of the goal. So had a shot gone wrong, there was no one left to defend your net. And if two of your teammates are up in that enemy half trying to set up a play, just try to stay about middle field until one of them runs out of boost or decides to rotate out. That'll ensure the most safety for your own side. So here, the goal that's going to be scored here is just a mechanical misplay from Will not flipping forward and flipping right. This is a good cheat here. And a nice pass and a nice shot. So when you're going up the side here, normally you don't want to steal this from your teammate, but here it was okay since it looks like Zesty would have cleared it to your side. If the enemy's not there though, I would usually leave that for my teammate, in this case Darth, to take up the wall after he recovers that middle boost. So I'm just going to show you the goalie perspective of this just so you can understand what his point of view looks like here. So the reason that this was scored was with the whiff from Mooch, he wasn't expecting Darth to hit that right after. So when Will moved up with his team, as he is here, the net was again left open on their half. Will also hits the ball up and behind him here. While it would have been better to hit it vertically to the right, of course, by angling his car in this way, I'll show you. If he keeps going straight up and doesn't pull back here, the spot he would be aiming for on his car, let's see, would probably be around this portion of the ball. What you would want to be aiming for to try to pop the ball a little bit to the right, but also still over the top of the goal to give more time for him and his teammates to recover since they're all on this side of the pitch. And then also something to note is since it went backwards like this, the enemy should have been able to capitalize on this error, but they did not. I just want to add that Will was looking away from the play for a long period of time here. If you don't have the boost positions memorized, just try to line yourself up early and then switch back to ball cam and just drive straight to get to the boost. I like the way you hit this, but a good way to help set up your teammate here is to try to hit the ball more over the crossbar. You were fairly close to this by hitting it to the corner, but popping it more over this portion of the goal here is the most ideal. Something to keep in mind. Try not to jump up late for shots like this. They will almost always end up going behind the player. Will should have jumped a bit earlier, hit the ball towards the middle half of the pitch, and rotate it out for his other teammate, who was kind of like midfield-ish at this point, I believe. Yes. Let's see where Mooch is as well. Mooch is here. So, let me pull this up here. So, on the map, I believe Will is about here, teammates leaving here, and then you have Darth who is about in the middle here. So hitting the ball to around, um, he's probably going to be driving a little bit forward, so trying to hit it as far around here would be the best position to try to set something up for your teammate. Now, it's great that you got this shot and it was a goal, but it's also important to know what your third teammate is doing. Ideally, you would think that he's back in net or back in midfield, preparing for a rotation if the shot doesn't go well. But he's actually doing something completely different, and I'll show you his perspective here. So let's rewind back. So when you guys are going to set up the play, he's completely on their side as well, and he's just on the ceiling. So this makes you guys clumped up here again. So many times you're going to be put in positions where your teammate may be doing something incorrect or something you wouldn't expect him to do, and you have to, in times like this, you should really just decommit to a play if you know he's doing something like that in order to preserve proper defense for your team. So let me switch back over to your Will's perspective here. So it looks like this section that we just watched contained a lot of mechanical errors, many of which were misreads. when Will was trying to clear the ball. I'll link a clear training pack that I think would really help with um, this kind of situation at the end of the video if you wish to practice your clears. So try to anticipate if your opponent has a clear or shot opportunity, which you don't have the speed to get to. You want to try to minimize going for hits when they're out of reach, like they were here. Try not to be positioned that close to Darth's right, and also make sure to check that a teammate is in the goal before moving up like this. Because as you can see, if you look at Mooch currently, he's going to grab boost, which causes him to be away from the goal and have to rush back, not getting there in time. So when the ball goes over the net like this, or you can see that the enemy's shooting it more. As soon as you see the enemy shooting for it, try to get in front of the goal as soon as possible, and you want to try to anticipate how that ball is going to bounce off the crossbar. So yeah, just trying to practice coming into these clears at a wider angle and jumping earlier, and I'll show you a quick GIF of what this would look like. So this really helps is, here, I'll play this side by side with what happened here. So you want to be up in the air before the ball bounces off the crossbar, and that will get you to the ball much sooner before the enemy most times. All right. So, although it's quite difficult to do, once you see your teammate misses here, Will should have slowed down. Slow down considerably at probably about 348 to prepare, and then once he sees the miss, he should have charged Zesty Man at the ball. He would have had a much better angle had he slowed down to charge the ball there. So about here at 403, you should look at the opponent after he hits the ball here. You can see that his car points pretty hard to his right side. So you're free to clear on the ground to what was his left, your right, very lightly. So once it comes to you, just take it to the ground to the side instead of hitting it hard and popping it as much as it was done here. Try to keep the rotation advice I gave earlier. Don't be clumped up in front with all three of your teammates. So again here, this is where a player should stay in midfield when both of his teammates are out. It's good that Will does rotate back a little bit here, but it's best to stay in that position the majority of the time. Right here, it's unnecessary to try to go for a hit off the wall since Will's out of boost and it seems pretty far away from him. So I'd say this goal is mainly the fault of Mooch. He was on the wall leaving an open net. But again, that just comes to really watching what your teammates are doing and anticipating mistakes like this. So it's extremely important in threes to keep track of the rotation and the positions of all players in general. With time and practice, the passing plays will come naturally from knowledge of your teammates' positions. Keeping possession requires you to have the mechanics to move the ball exactly where you want it to go. It may be beneficial for you to go into free play and practice passing from the side of the pitch to an exact spot of your choosing. Lastly, try to get used to using your camera stick to look around you while you're playing to better learn everyone's positions during game. I think that it'll help you greatly. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Discord and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.